Didn't set out to write a topical book, is that it? But it seems to have landed at a time much like the last
strange.
one.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I started writing it in 2016, and I don't think I actually realised that it would come at a time where the conversation, particularly with Me Too and Time's Up, is kind of moving past issues of consent and sexual violence and trying to encompass just sexual politics in general. And I think that's really interesting. And I think no one is conflating that with rape. No one is conflating bad sex with rape. But I think that it's time as a society that we look at male sexuality versus female sexuality, how aggressiveness, I think, is encouraged in the former and passivity in the latter. And I think it just, ends up in a lot of very bad sex for women, which in the book, the sex scenes were like very uncomfortable to write. And I could see my parents slightly, cringing every time. I could see them kind of like, turning the pages. And then my mother texted me and she said, "Oh, Gran's bought the book." And I was like,
I suppose you have to keep pointing to
I'm just going to go and tear out like certain pages. She's like, "Oh, pages 6 to 7. I'm like, "No, don't know where they've gone."
Yeah. But you talk about an imbalance, is that it? In expectations?
There is an imbalance
in
expectations. Oh, yes. And as I said, no one is conflating the two, because I think that would be really reckless and really insulting to survivors. But I think we have to start looking at just sexual politics in general. And I think that's what, in the book, it's about the power dynamics. And I think Sarah, she prioritises. It's about a young woman called Sarah who becomes embroiled in this very toxic love affair with an older man called Matthew, and she becomes increasingly infatuated with him and kind of goes to very extreme lengths to win his affection and sort of prove herself worthy of him. And I think when they're having sex, she prioritises his pleasure over her own, and I think that is something that a lot of young women do, I think, is that the male orgasm is sort of, and male pleasure and male gratification is definitely prioritised and seen as more important, which is obviously, I think, very wrong. So.
Okay.
Thank you.